Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
You are watching Leicester Till I Die TV with Chris and Chumps. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. All you need for everything Leicester City FC. It's Leicester Till I Die TV.
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Good evening, fellow Fox fans. How are we feeling? Nervous? Apprehensive? Pooing our pants? It's Europe. We're back in. It's the round of 32. It's the Europa League, and it's a small matter of this in about 50 minutes. It is Slavia Prague versus Leicester City. First leg away from home, and you are watching Leicester Till I Die TV. You can get us on YouTube, and you can get us on Facebook. You can get us on Twitter. YouTube, Leicester Till I Die TV. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group, and Twitter and Periscope at Leicester TID. And if you want to listen to us on podcast version rather than watch us, you can catch us on all the main podcast platforms, including Apple, iTunes, Spotify, Anchor, and Google. Have you seen the team? What do you think of it? What do you think our chances are tonight? Maybe this gentleman's got all the answers. Well, we're about to find out. Welcoming in, you may know him. He's been on one of our shows before, and he helped Barry with his Managing My Own Football Club book. Let's bring him in now and say very good evening to Matt. Good evening, Matt.
Hi, Chris. How are you?
I'm not so bad, mate. Getting a little bit excited now. How about you?
Yeah, really looking forward to the game. It's a long time since we've been in a knockout stage of the what used to be the UEFA Cup.
Yes,
I think it was Red Star Belgrade was the last knockout game in this competition. So that was a while ago. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that doesn't bring back very many happy memories.
No, neither did the Atletico one either.
No. I mean, we always seem to get into the cups. We used to have 2 games, and that was it. Back to normality.
Yeah, we were unlucky with referees before, weren't we? But seem to be doing well this season, though.
No, I think yes. I think we all know to what you are referring, and he was never seen again, was he?
No, it's not surprising though.
No.
Definitely something dodgy going on there.
Majorly dodgy. I think we could say. Tonight's game. Obviously, the team news is out. Strong team that he's gone for.
Yeah, really strong team. It looks like he wants to try and put this to bed in the first leg. Go out there, hopefully get a decent win, and then maybe you've got the opportunity then to rest some of the big names.
Yes. Yeah.
Good to see some more young lads on the bench as well.
There is, and I must admit, Flynn. I haven't heard of this guy called Flynn.
No, completely new to me until you just flashed up the subs bench. I haven't even clocked that name.
I know. I was expecting, in fairness, because he did all right last time when he came on for played Brighton, Daly Campbell, but he's not even on the subs bench tonight.
No, I thought that as well. It looks like going for a Marty at the back, probably for a bit of experience, so that you've got the youth of Thomas on one side, and then you've got the experience of a Marty on the other. So maybe he made that decision just to give a bit of balance.
I can understand Thomas coming in. He's young, and let's be honest with you, he's played and scored in this competition this season.
Yeah, I mean, he's made a really good start to his career since his debut last season, and I think these games are ideal for people like him. I'm surprised that Chowdhury's not in the squad. Not in the starting lineup, because he's played quite a few appearances in the Europa League, and I think Ndidi is crucial to our success. I definitely don't want him to get an injury, but it does show how seriously Brendan Rodgers is taking the competition.
I think I totally agree with you there, and it's nice to see a manager taking these sort of games seriously. I mean, he could have gone out and said, let's be honest with you, if it all doesn't go as planned and we at least get a draw, that's not going to be a bad result. But it looks like he's definitely going for the win, like you said before.
Yeah, and it is positive, because I remember a couple of years ago with Puel in charge, and we reached the quarterfinals of the League Cup, and but I think it was 2 successive seasons where we played Man City, and we put weakened team out, and I think we took them to penalties, and as a fan, you want to win. You want to win things, don't you? Yes. You want to watch your team win trophies.
I mean, there's no guarantee, but certainly yes, with those games, and that was following on from, I think, when we had the debacle against Newport. But when you come to think, you're playing Man City, who they've always got the Champions League at the back of their minds whenever they're always in that. They put a weakened team out. No guarantee, but had we put a full strength team out, we might not have even gone to penalties. We might have even beaten them.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things that you'll never know, but it is good to see that we've got a strong team out today, and I mean, hopefully we can break them down, because they are a strong team. They're performing really well in the Czech League this season, and they are a formidable force at home. I don't think they've lost a home game for a couple of years now.
No. And the frightening thing is, and I'm just going to bring the table up here. We're obviously, I mean, we our form isn't that bad, but we're sat in third, and you've got the 2 Prague teams, a bit like a bus. You look for one, then 2 come along at once. But Slavia are top of the league, and I don't believe they've actually lost a game in their own league this season. They've lost one, obviously, in the Europa League, and they came second in the group. But they are looking very, very strong.
Yeah, they are, but I mean, the Premier League is a higher standard. It's higher quality teams week in, week out. So, with the side that Leicester have got, they've definitely got the quality, definitely got the talent, and definitely got the ability to beat them. And Liverpool were unbeaten at home in the league, weren't they, for a number of games, and that's fallen apart now. So everybody's beatable, and this side that we've got out today is more than capable of getting a good result today.
I think Liverpool have done what is called, or I would call, doing a Leicester just recently. I mean, looking at the squad, I mean, like you say, it's as strong as it can be, and I think we're all sort of thinking, well, we're playing Villa on Sunday. That's not going to be an easy game. That's probably going to be quite a physical game. But I think, and it's nice to see this, that he's gone, like we say, strong. If we do get in the lead, he can bring the likes of Chowdhury on to, give us a bit more defensive clout. But he can make those changes, can't he? So, if we get the lead on, he can take the big names off, give them a rest, and make the subs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I think we'll want to start strong tonight. Hopefully take the game to Prague. See what see how they cope against the quality. I think looking at their lineup, they've got 4-5-1. So maybe they'll be sitting back and seeing what we can throw at them, see if they can take the pressure and then try and snatch something. I mean, it'll be a good test for them because they won't be used to teams going at them. They will used to being the favourites. They'll used to be try again. They'll be used to being the team that is on the front foot all the time. So hopefully we can make them feel uncomfortable.
I may have read this somewhere, and I may be making it up, but sometimes these things stick in your mind and you don't know whether you've read it. But I don't know, the Slavia Prague, have they ever actually beaten an English team? I don't know if you've heard that at all.
I'm not sure. I don't know off the top of my head.
No, I'm not either. Hopefully that's true, and hopefully that carries on tonight. But as I say, I could easily have made that up. I mean, when the draw was made and we got Slavia Prague, were you as happy as I was? I mean, we avoided some sort of big names there, didn't we?
Yeah, avoided the big teams, but I think at this stage, in this level of competition, every game is going to be tough. You're kind of going into the unknown a little bit, and I mean, you mentioned earlier about the debacle against Newport. I mean, you can't take any games for granted. So yeah, it's good to avoid some of the bigger teams, but if Leicester are going to win this competition, you've got to face them and beat them at some point.
Yep. Yeah. Is it? I think because obviously by finishing top of the group, and to me that was important. Once we'd qualified, because it does mean we do miss the big teams, and we did miss the teams coming down from the Champions League, which I don't agree with them. I think they should just go straight out of Europe. But hey, it's all about money and names and keeping them in, isn't it? But we got Slavia Prague. I was kind of, pleased, but is it next round that we can then draw anybody? I believe, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, I think everybody's in the hat, and it's you get who you get. So that could definitely throw up some interesting sides. But I mean, Leicester have just beaten Liverpool, who were the unstoppable champions last season.
Yes.
Manchester City look in very good form at the minute, yet a few months ago we were beating them 5-2. So anybody's beatable. I don't think Leicester players should fear anybody, any side, any player.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just me, and I said this earlier in the season, but I'm very much a glass half full fan, especially with Leicester, because you never know what they're going to do. We're the kings of shooting ourselves in the foot, aren't we? But I remember in the Premier League winning season, I used to go into every game thinking like, this is the one we're going to lose. And we only lost 3 all season. I'm kind of getting that feeling back again this season.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Leicester, because of Leicester always seem to do things the hard way, and because we've been up and down. This will be the first. This is the first time that we've had 2 successive seasons where we've been challenging for the top, and I think for a while people have been, especially non-Leicester fans, are waiting for the wheels to fall off. And I think deep down we're sort of, it's Leicester. This is a team who we've followed for years and years, and we were top of the league with Peter Taylor, weren't we? And then ended up losing to Wickham and falling down the table. And I think those kind of things have happened before. We've been there before, and it's probably just a little bit of caution as fans that we don't want to get too carried away. Yes. But I mean, it's great at the minute, isn't it? Or to still be in a chance of winning all of these 3 competitions.
We could do the treble. Indeed, the treble is still on. I always refer to the Wickham game as being careful what you wish for. Because I remember in that draw, and it was I think was the quarter-final or the round before the quarter-final? Yeah. It was the quarter-final, yeah. And there's only Wickham, I think, that was a lower division team. And I remember saying that the perfect draw would be Wickham at home. Yeah. And we got Wickham at home. And the rest, as they say, not history, the rest is a nightmare. But I'm going to say good evening to Stephen Collins. Thanks for joining us again, as always. Stephen's a regular now. Shane Flynn is a 19-year-old midfielder from Dublin. Thanks for letting us know that, Steve. Like I say, it's looking good. We've got a lot of good youngsters there coming through. Booba, last time Slavia beat an English team, Leeds 2-1 in the 2000 quarter-final UEFA Cup. He thinks Google may have helped there. I'm not asserting anything. And good evening, Rob. Good evening, Rob. How the devil are you, sir? No Daily Campbell. We were just saying that. You joined us a bit late there, but we were saying that earlier. But who says Shane Flynn is playing the fiddle? That's a bad one, Rob. That's a bad one. But Matt, I mean, you like me, you've supported Leicester many, many years. I don't think there's ever been such a good crop of youngsters knocking on the door.
No, I mean, Chilwell left last season, but we've still got Chowdhury, we've got Barnes, we've got Thomas, we've got Daly Campbell now. We've got Dewberry Hall, who is on loan at the moment and looking very, very good there.
Looking excellent.
So it is good. I mean, if you look around other clubs at the moment, there aren't many clubs who are playing so many homegrown talents.
It is, and I always say I refer to Chelsea, who sort of their youth system is basically a loan system, but they had to play the youngsters last season under Lampard, and he did a lot better playing them than when he was, went out and bought players. I mean, I know he's left there now, but it's got to be good for the club because it's going to save us potentially. And I know fans like big names coming in, and you can say, well, we don't need a new left back because we've got Lewis coming through and what have you. But it will save the club money financially, which is, again, it's got to be a good thing in this day and age.
Yeah, plus I think it's the feel good. It's the feel good factor as well. That when, especially people who are Leicester fans and Leicester born and bred. I mean, I know Harvey Barnes was born in Burnley, but he was brought up and raised in Leicester. Chowdhury is a local lad. So's Luke Thomas. So it's good, and I think the fans, certainly the younger ones, can relate to them. It gives the fans, somebody to aspire to. There's a gateway now. There's a pathway for them to become footballers. They've got somebody to idolise, and it's good to see young English players coming through as well, rather than relying on lots of foreigners coming over. These guys have got an affinity to the club as well. If they've been here since 8, 9, 10 years old, then they've got that loyalty. They know the club. They know what it means to everybody. So it's like having fans on the pitch, really, but fans who can play.
Yes, you won't want me on the pitch, believe that me. I said last night, I think it was on the show, that do you remember that goalkeeper that was playing for that non-league team and he was sponsored by a pie company?
Yeah,
that would be me, but bigger. Rob, I think Rob's got the dad joke book out tonight. Flynn on the pipes, Tavares on the vocals. We're not missing an angel there, Rob, but we could be missing you with jokes like that, I'll tell you. So we've said it's a strong team, but it is away from home. And I know we've done better away from home, but this is Europe. If we get a score draw or even a 0-0, it's not, that's still quite good for us, isn't it?
Yeah, I think a draw is a good result. I know that Leicester's home form hasn't been great this season. But you'd still fancy Leicester against Prague at the King Power. I think really you want to try and get a good lead today to take into the second leg to make it a bit easier. And then Rodgers has got the option then of resting a couple of the big name players for the home leg. 3-4-0 win today would be fantastic. You can make a few changes then, give some of the big names a rest, and hopefully give an opportunity to the youngest to play in a competitive match at European. I mean, which is incredible, really.
3-4-0. I would definitely take that. I'll tell you. Rob's asking in. I think I asked this in the European show on Tuesday. Away goals count double. I know they used to. Do you know if they still do, Matt?
I can't remember. These competitions now, they all have different rules, don't they? VAR is sometimes in it and sometimes not. And away goals is in and then it's not. So I'm not sure.
I was told it does, but I wasn't totally convinced. I've got to be honest with you. It was we obviously we've had success with away goals in the past, but I I prefer, for me, I don't know whether you would agree with this. I prefer it when they don't count double.
Yeah, you say that, but then there were a few games in the 90s where we needed that. I mean, the first League Cup final we got to, I think it was Simon Grayson's goal against Wimbledon that was there on away goals. And no, I think the Tranmere final, I think we beat Villa, didn't we? 2-0. Yes, certainly that first one against Wimbledon. It was the away goals that took us through.
It was, but I'd hate to come back with a 0-0, let's say, and then knowing that, you know, if we would have to win, because any form of a score draw would mean we would go out. You know, it's that extra pressure. But go on though. Let's. You said it would be nice to get a 3 or 4-0 lead. What is your prediction going to be?
I'll go with 3-0. I can definitely see us keeping a clean sheet. I think they'll be tough to break down, but I think there's enough quality in the side. You know, Barnes, Maddison, Vardy. You only really need one of them to be on form. I'm going to go for 3-0.
Not sure who it is, but good evening back to you. He'd be happy with a 1-0 tonight. I mean, any form of a win would do. Slavia, unbeaten, I believe, won't be easy, Rob. They're unbeaten at home, Rob, but they have been beaten in the Europa League. I'm going to be a bit more reserved than that, because we have got a little bit of the back four, the two wingers are sort of not regulars. And I know it was made on the preview show the other night that Craig made the point that Amati always looks like he's got a penalty in him when he's playing at right back. Yeah. But I'm going to go 2-1 because I think they might just sneak one past us, to be honest with you, Matt. So I'm going to go for a 2-1. So I'm going to say thank you to Matt for joining us. But I just want to say, Matt, like I said to you, let me just get this down because... I should have got this earlier. Matt was very much involved, and we've spoken about this book a lot on the shows, Minding My Own Football Business. It was the story of Leicester in the 90s. Well, Barry Pierpoint, who was Leicester's first chief executive, and it's his side of the story, co-written with yourself, Matthew, written by yourself, and forward by Steve Walsh. Very good read. It just put another view across, because I think, and I certainly did before I met him on the show and read the book. We'd also read the newspaper reports and what have you, and he was not what I was expecting. So that, you know, certainly that is worth a read. But Matthew's also written this book as well, What If? An Alternative History of Leicester City, with the forward by Julian Joachim. Just explain the thinking behind that, Matt.
So it's a bit of fun, really. I mean, a couple of years ago, I was thinking about the season that we won the league, and actually, what happened was, I think it was a year before that or 2 years before that, where we lost to Watford in the playoff semi-final, and it was that heartbreaking moment when Knockaert missed the penalty, and then Troy Deeney scored seconds later, knocked us out. And I think for a lot of Leicester fans, it's one of the worst experiences, certainly in recent history. And I started thinking, actually, what would have happened if we'd gone up that season? Would we have stayed up and then gone on and won the Premier League? I mean, people like Vardy had struggled that season. He was on the bench. So was Drinkwater for the Watford game. Mahrez had only had about 6 months, I think, and he wasn't setting the world alight in the Championship. So I started wondering about what happened and thought, you know, I'm going to write it. I'm going to write an alternative reality. So there's a chapter that explains what might have happened had we beaten Watford and gone up that season, how our future may have turned out. Then there's other chapters around what would have happened if we'd gone into administration in the early 2000s and not come out of it. There's a chapter around what would have happened if we'd signed Johan Cruyff back in the 70s that we were pretty close to signing him.
Yeah.
There's another chapter that explores what may have happened had Heskey and O'Neill stayed back in 2000. And there's going all the way back to the 60s as well. There's a chapter that explores what may have happened had Leicester won the league back in 1963, when I think there were about 5 games to play and Leicester were top of the league and in the cup final against Man United, and actually favourites for the double. So it's a bit of fun. There's some heavily photoshopped in there that kind of show what may have happened and how it may have looked. There's a bit of reality in there as well, mixed with a bit of fiction, but it's a bit of fun, something a bit different. I don't think anything like that's been written before. If you're a Leicester fan, there'll be lots of good memories in there, and there'll be lots of funny moments as well.
I must admit, I mean, this is next on my agenda to read, and I think if there's ever a club that you could do a what if about, it's Leicester City, because we've come so close so many times.
Yeah.
So that's, as I say, that's what if, light-hearted look at what could have happened if there'd been an alternative universe, I guess. Where's it available from, Matt?
So you can buy it at bluearmypublishing.com. Or there's an offer at mindinmyownfootballbusiness.co.uk where you can buy the Barry Pierpoint book and the What If, and you get £5 off.
Good deal, that one. Like I say, I'll let you know. I've had a skim through it, and I mean, I must admit, like you say, some of the photos and some of the things I'm reading are like oh, I don't know if I want to go there, but I'm sure I will. So that's What If, available at Blue Army Publishing or mindinmyownfootballbusiness.com, and you can buy the Minding My Own Football Business and the What If and get a £5 off the package. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. Here's to the win tonight. Hopefully, like I say, a 3-0 would be brilliant, but we will see. As long as we get a result, that's what it's all about.
Definitely. Good to speak again, Chris, and enjoy.
And you as well, Matt. Thanks very much for coming on and doing that. And here's to a good match this evening.
Great. Thanks Chris.
A lot. Take care. Thanks to Matt there for joining us. And that the book looks really, really interesting. It's certainly, you said there, I think. Let me just bring it back up here. Steve, you said you're reading it at the moment. Are you reading the What If, or are you reading the Minding My Own Football Business? Which one are you reading at the moment? Because that one, I have literally just finished that. And like I say, it gave me an insight, because it was then when I started supporting Leicester. I was a bit of a late starter. And we all know sort of the story from the news side and what have you. Barry's very honest, very genuine in what he writes, and it made me think about a few things as well, including my great hate, Mark McGee. Read it; it's a great read. It's a great read, as it is What If. Like I say, that looks going to be a fun read. Guys, kick off is in 24 minutes now. It's Europe. Europe is what it is tonight. Well done, Stephen. Thanks a lot for that. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back post-match with hopefully Julian Watts, ex-player, and also, of course, my usual chat chum regular on the post-match show, aka Jesus. It is, of course, Brad. Let's hope we'll be talking about a good Leicester performance. It's a strong team that's gone out there. Let's just remind you of that team there, and we've got Schmeichel in goal, a back four of Amati, Evans, Soyuncu and Thomas. Ndidi is the holding midfielder, and then the four across the middle, Tillemans, Maddison. On the wings, you've got Albrighton and Barnes, and Vardy up front. What a strong team. And of course, the bench doesn't look too shabby either, does it? It's going to be great. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is Leicester. You never know. Let's get another trophy to add to that one behind me, shall we? Yeah, let's do it. I'll see you tonight, guys, straight after the match. Well, 45 minutes after the match. Take care, stay safe, enjoy the game, wherever you're watching it from. Good night. See you later.
Leicester Till I Die podcasts on the Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google, Anchor, and all podcast platforms.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye and see you next time.